Welcome, in this lesson I'll teach you how to manipulate your facial features with ease. Here's our starting point, and after a few minutes we'll end up with this result. Please note that everything is done in good fun for demonstration purposes. I don't agree with digitally enhanced images. I think everyone should look after themselves, live a healthy lifestyle, and be happy with their own body. Having said that, let's keep things light and play around with the Face-Aware Liquify tool. Let's get to it. The first step is to convert our layer into a smart object. This will allow us to easily adjust our settings in case we're not happy on our first go. Next, I'll go to the top menu and I'll choose Filters, Liquify. This is improved in this latest release of Photoshop and we get to control just about all of her facial features. Previously, in CC 2015.5, we couldn't control her eyes individually, which was a bit of a drag. Now we get to do that. Before we get into it, please note that this works well for group photos because we're able to go through all detected faces through this drop-down. The only restriction is your subject. He or she has to face the camera. If you get a side shot or if the head is too far tilted, this face-aware feature won't work. Here we can see it's detected because we also get this overlay in our preview. Let's see what we can do. First, the upgrade. We can control her eyes individually. Here, due to the nature of this photo, we can see her eye from the left side of the screen is smaller. That makes sense, but you'd be surprised to find how many people have unequal eyes in straight-up images. Thus, I can drag this slider up to about 70 or so, and you can see the small change. Everything here is subtle. Though you can crank it up to 100, the difference won't be night and day, and I applaud this limitation implemented by Adobe. Next, I'll slightly adjust her eye height, but I'll enable this chain icon which is turned off by default. Here, I'll go with something like 15. If you're into anime transformations, you could raise it up dramatically, but here I won't do that. Moving down to her eye width, let's also increase it to about 20. For whatever reason, these sliders can't be controlled through your mouse scroll. I'm sure this is a bug that will get fixed pretty soon, but it is something you should be aware of. Next, we can make her smile with her eyes by using this tilt feature. There's an array of emotions available at our fingertips, but I'll stay out of it. On the other hand, the nose slider is something that produces dramatic results. Here, I'll decrease the height to about -30 and the width to about -50 or so. At this point, we've done quite a lot, and you might be wondering if you're on the right track. Well, we have a preview checkbox here at the bottom of this panel, but I prefer to use its hotkey, that's P. Since we're in a different workspace, you won't get the pen tool by mistake. Okay, so far, so good. Her mouth is also a critical component after her nose. Let's make this smile a tad bigger by upping this slider to 50. I know having luscious lips is important nowadays, so let's increase the upper lip value to 55. I advise you to skip the lower lip. I've played on some images of my own and they produce creepy results. For the width, the value of 50 is going to improve it, and let's do something similar for the height. Press P to toggle the preview so you can see the progress so far. Alright, I'm happy with it, but now I'll adjust her face shape, which will completely transform this photo. For the chin heights, let's go with 25 or so. As for the jawline and face width, I find negative values work best on women. Here, I'll go with -50 and -65. And that's it. Let's press OK. Let's see our before and after on our canvas, but please note this is quite an intensive process, so Photoshop will think for a while before reapplying the effect. I think the before and after is dramatic. Too dramatic, I might add, but again, let's keep it all in good fun. Let's double-click it so I can show you a better way of adjusting your photos. These sliders are iffy in this release, so what you can do is hover over the different parts of her face and these guides will show up. Now you can adjust her mouth, for example, right on the spot. The same goes for her nose and all of her facial features. This is a really powerful tool that's easy to use, yet I suggest you apply all these changes to photos where you see someone that was captured in a less than ideal light. Slightly increase a smile, make both eyes the same sizes, little things of that nature. And with that, you've wrapped up this lecture. You have the PSD attached with this particular result, so feel free to experiment with it.